So, could you just tell us a bit about yourself first to start?
Yeah, I'm 22 years old. I'm from Cove in County Cork, and I study politics and public administration. I've been hugely involved in both CNS and SU. I was a class rep in first year, and at the moment I'm actually department rep for politics and public admin department. I'm also really involved in the surf club. I've had a variety of positions in that, and I've also been involved in a few other societies as well, such as Forum Stock Debut, and I actually set up the Politics Society in second year.
Good. Okay, so what attributes do you possess that will contribute to this role as academic officer?
I've developed a lot of different skill sets from, say, my different involvements with both clubs and stocks and SU, as well as with my co-op placement in which I work with Cork City Council, and this summer I did an internship in the European Parliament. A lot of those roles involve, say, negotiations, discussing with people, setting up different campaigns, events, just general different ideas, well, and policies working in that. And with all those roles, I had to engage with people, and that's something I really feel I would possess for this role. I've interacted with the college, I've represented students, and of course I've helped students as well. On a one-to-one basis, I feel I'd be very good with helping students that are struggling academically. We've all gone through problems ourselves, and I feel I'd be able to give the touch for that. And then when discussing with the different institutions at the college, I feel I'll be able to negotiate and represent the views fully of students. I truly love to engage with people, and I do feel that by doing this engagement I get the proper views and ideas of what students want to show.
Very good. Okay, so what's your biggest priority for the year in terms of your manifesto?
Well, there's two ones really I really want to focus on. The first one is the academic and FOP supervisor issue which to tackle. Quite often, a lot of times, people, they don't meet their academic supervisor at all throughout their 4 years, and it's actually a role that should really be strongly play a part in your life here in UL. In the past, I've been here 4 years now, and the only time I've met my academic supervisor has been in 2 modules I had with them. Quite often students aren't going to go out of their way as well to see them, and neither is the supervisor. So if there are set roles for them where they have to meet the student at least once or twice a semester, just to give them an update, see how they're doing, give them advice academically, especially planning ahead in the future, give them a bit of direction for the future, especially for business students. They don't know, they have such a variety of different choices, they don't know where they can go, what they can do, and if they actually meet their supervisor, if they're pretty much set to meet them, then it will give them true proper guidance. FIP supervisors are saying my FIP supervisor is actually very good. However, I know a lot of my friends, they've had struggles and issues with their one. So what I'd like to see with FIP supervisors is that they do have to meet their students over a set period of time every semester, and that they give proper and efficient advice, and try and get maybe more kind of surveys and stuff out there to make sure that the FIP supervisors are actually doing their job. The second part is kind of more so the pushing for further access to e-journals and faster increase the digitalisation of the library. Doing my FIP as well, it was quite a bit of a struggle when I had to get certain books that weren't available. For instance, there was one book I needed to get which was covering the first section of my FIP, and the only place I could find it was in the library, but it was taken out, and online the only place that was access was a place UL had no access to. I'd like to see this kind of pushed out a bit further. So we pretty much our library is very small compared to other colleges, and it'd be great to see e-education itself broadened and expanded throughout the college. So while we mightn't have the largest library, we'd still have the full resources available to us.
Very good. So what are some of your other ideas for the year as academic officer?
Well, broadening and specialisation of modules is one issue I'd really like to kind of push for. A big problem with thesis students is they find that their courses are too broad, that they can't specialise in different kind of areas. For instance, digital media design students, they feel a lot of their course focus too much in sociology, and they don't see the relevance to those modules. So it'd be good to see if they could, spend more time focusing on their actual issues, focusing more on their actual kind of coursework and things, and picking modules that they would like to do and would be relevant. So instead of just having a broaden out case, they could actually specifically focus on a certain area, but at the same time as well allow other modules to spread out. For instance, I do politics and public administration, and one big job area for us would be with the European Union. One big thing that you need for that, however, is another language. Now, of course, I could have taken up French or another module if I wanted to, but it's very difficult to do so, and it's not very clear. And if these options were kind of given more scope and made more visible, that could help a lot, because I would have probably taken up a French module in second year, introductory French, just to get basics of it, so I would have been able to speak it if I wanted to work for these institutions. Another thing as well too is skills workshops. There's the Department of Lifelong Learning, but they do very kind of basic kind of workshops, like there's herbal gardening or organic gardening, and there's a public speaking one. But I'd like to see more kind of ones put in place and made for cheaper as well. So say a lot of business students, they would like to develop say different skills in computers or even Excel. Like a lot of them don't actually know how to do this because they don't actually choose it quite often. They don't realise that it's too late. So it'd be great to actually have this these skilled workshops actually set up maybe in the evening and done at maybe a cheaper, reduced price. You could even do it with PhD students volunteering as well. And while it would benefit both the PhD student for a volunteering aspect, it would help a lot of students as well to develop the proper skill sets they need.
Great. What do you feel would be your biggest challenge for the year?
Biggest challenge for the year? The second one. I'd say one issue as well, because with academic they do a lot of work with council, and it's trying to engage students with that, and that's actually one priority I do have, is trying to get the democratic process kind of more clear and more fully so students feel properly represented. So for instance, try and get class reps to do a better job, try and get the department reps to engage more so with class reps. Like the department reps now that I've worked with have been fantastic, and generally anyone in class reps who are very, very dedicated. But one thing I'd like to see more so, but will be quite difficult, is to get to engage more with fellow students. So one thing I will be pushing for is to try and get this process to work, and while it will be quite difficult to do, it's something I'm very, very hopeful that we can achieve. When we push the importance of the role, and if we get proper training at the very start of the year, I do think it's something that we can get over and done very well.
Good. So what aspect of this position excites you the most?
Truly, it's engaging with the students. I really like to help people, and it's actually one of the reasons why I actually went for this role. Being able to help a fellow student that's been in trouble would mean a lot, but not even just in that aspect of it as well, but being able to negotiate with the college too, to try and better and improve the student experience. Like UL is a fantastic college, and I truly do love it, but there are things that can be improved, and being able to take part in that, trying to improve the college, to help a place I'm truly passionate about, it really does excite me. And even the work as well too that it can do with class reps and department reps, it really does excite me as well. Like there's a lot of different things about it that truly excite me. Properly learning about this role, I had such a glow and such an excitement for it, and when I decided to run for it, I really did get energised and happy.
Okay, so what do you feel are the biggest academic issues here in UL?
I'd say the lack of online resources, and a lot of modules finding that they're too broad or too specialised. So for instance, as I mentioned earlier, with CC students, they feel that their modules are too broad and like specialised. So it'd be great to see modules that really kind of push to allow them to focus more on actually specific skills and see what there's the actual use of them. The other with online resources, well, especially when you can't get access to certain online journals, but you can to others, but then those journals are only article reviews, it's not very much helpful. So just kind of a broadening of all those things would be something that I'm very much going to tackle, especially it's all listed down in my manifesto.
Good. Okay, so is there anything else that you would like to say in relation to this position?
Yeah, I'm truly happy to the fact that I've gained this position unopposed, and I promise you I will do a very, very good job. If you look at my manifesto, you can see it's both reasonable and honest and very straightforward, and they're all goals that can be achieved. One of the other issues as well too that I'd like to try and tackle as well is with campaigns, and try and get a campaign team established with both department reps and class council, so it's driven by them, and so we can engage fully more with the students and try and get issues that aren't really highlighted anymore, to get them more out there, and get more kind of activism out there. With this role as well, I promise students I will be out there all the time engaging with you. I will be meeting people out there in the courtyard, just walking around. I'm going to be going to different buildings all the time, I'll be posting up there. I truly will be asking questions from everyone, and I love feedback. And any ideas or suggestions you do have, I would love to hear them. I'm very excited with this position, I'm very passionate. So yeah, I'm going on to repeat myself now, but honestly, if you see me in the streets, please do come up, suggest any ideas you do have, and any thoughts you have on the policies as well too, the manifesto, I would love to hear them.
Great.